kick off with our first question, which tonight is from Stephen Thomas.
Thank you. Are broken promises, gaffes, and hanging from a zip wire the criteria for becoming the next Prime Minister?
I can't think who you mean, Stephen. I think we might be talking about Boris Johnson here. Stephen, do you want to kick us off?
Well, I think we are in an extraordinary situation, and, you know, I disagree with just about everything the Conservative Party has ever stood for, but they are one of the oldest political parties in the world and one of the most important, whether we like it or not. And I think it is deeply disturbing now that they are on the point of electing a right-wing populist as their leader. They are on the point of electing someone who claims that he's going to be a unity figure, but has referred to Muslim women as letterboxes. A man who has talked about black people having lower IQs than the rest of us. A man who has also claimed that he should be elected on the basis of his competence. And yet he is the person that spent £43 million on a vanity project for a bridge where not a single brick was laid. He commissioned some buses where the back door didn't work properly, and that had to get scrapped. He commissioned a water cannon where it's illegal to actually use them, and he claims that he has the competence. And worse than all, of course, when he was Foreign Secretary, his careless words, the man who was supposed to be the head of Britain's diplomatic service, his careless words ended up with a woman, Nazanin Zaghari-Ratcliffe, being locked up in Iran for far longer than usual. He is absolutely not fit to be the Prime Minister of this country, and the fact that he's going to be elected by 120,000 members of the Conservative Party, let's face it, not exactly a representative sample of the population of the United Kingdom, is a democratic and a constitutional and a national political outrage.
Well, you know, I think Rory Stewart summed it up today, didn't he? Say you wouldn't want to have him anywhere near the nuclear button, would you? I mean, it seems his handlers don't even want him anywhere near a TV studio. I mean, they don't have any confidence in him. He's created over the years, hasn't he, this sort of Boris brand of being, a bit of a hapless maverick. But, don't believe it. I mean, he's far cleverer than that. I mean, he's a modern Machiavelli in a clown costume. I mean, remember that the article that he wrote, one for leave, one for remain, and he decided at the last minute which was most politically expedient for him. I mean, this is a man that sees politics as a kind of extension of an Oxford Union debate. It doesn't really matter what side you're on. The only thing that matters is that you win. I mean, it's a disaster that's about to befall us, He'll almost certainly be the next Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, but he'll probably be the last, because I don't see the Scottish sticking around for this. Probably the Northern Irish will leave as well, and if we Welsh had any sense, we'll declare ourselves an independent country, because the alternative of the United Kingdom under Boris Johnson, of all people, I think is too horrible for us to imagine.
Let's hear from the
tax cut for the rich would actually cut about £450 million from the Welsh budget for all the public services, I mean, where's the justice in that? I mean, he was talking in his launch about actually, creating a more equal Britain, and yet the first policy that he actually pronounces is putting money even further into the deep pockets of the richest people in the United Kingdom. Where's the social justice there?
Look, for many years, more and more people have been brought into the higher rate of tax. I think it's not unreasonable to rebalance that to help people, for example, senior police officers, GPs, senior nurses. I don't think it's so wrong to want people to be able to keep a little bit more of their own money.
If you want to see real economic pain, I'll take you, Teresa, to some of the streets and the villages in Wales. If you want to see real poverty, it's not those higher rate earners that need the handout and the helping hand from government. It's the people that are really suffering. What about the jams that Theresa May was talking about?
Absolutely, Boris's programme will deliver for people at all income levels.
Okay.
The Conservatives.
Teresa, that's not the response you wanted, is it? You're having to take everything here for Boris and answer all of it. Let's just hear from some other people in the panel. Mark.
Well, I think it will depend on whether Boris can deliver Brexit. Now, he talks a good game. He led the the Leave campaign, and he led it very well. But then he left the field of play. His record as Foreign Secretary wasn't terribly successful. And he is now saying that, deal or no deal, we will leave the European Union by the 31st of October.
And if he does, is there any point in the Brexit Party?
Well, I would like to believe him. It will depend on what he does. He talks a very good game, but will he deliver? We've heard Theresa May say 108 times that we were going to leave the European Union on the 29th of March this year. We did not do so. So I think we need to start counting how often Boris Johnson is saying that he's going to take us out on the 31st of October, because that's what he needs to say to win the Conservative leadership. But will he actually deliver?